Ever wanted to get camera angles like these in your videos?
Shots high above the crowd, to low on the ground, looking up? This video will show you how.
Welcome. Being the videographer in the family, it's your responsibility to record your family's progress throughout their lives.
Events like the baby's first steps, or weddings, to holidays at home or away.
This video describes various methods to achieve these types of effects on your video, without having to have lots of heavy equipment and rely on another person to help carry it all. After all, you're part of the family, so you need time to enjoy it all, as well.
The topics discussed.
The most suitable camera for the task.
How to create these novel camera angles, using a monopod, instead of a tripod.
The use of a camera light, when necessary.
Simple techniques for protecting your camera from the rain.
The use of a digital voice recorder, to improve the audio track of your video.
And finally, the simplest way to carry all the kit around yourself.
So let's first discuss the best camera to achieve these unique camera angles.
DSLR cameras with a swivel screen are fairly rare.
However, as we'll see later, this is the only way to create these shots.
Currently the choices are limited to the Canon PowerShot range, but there may be more types of cameras available by now.
Traditionally, to achieve stable and professional video clips, a tripod is the usual choice.
A tripod has several disadvantages for a lone videographer on the move. They are usually very large and heavy. So a better choice would be to use a monopod instead, which are smaller and lighter to carry.
All monopods have telescopic sections that pull out. Most have a clip on each section to secure its position. However, there is a patented design by Velbon that locks each section without the use of clips. You simply pull out to the required length, and twist.
The twisting action locks all the sections. Thus, this type of monopod is well suited to the task, as it is very quick to extend, for setting up the unusual camera angles, which we'll describe in detail later.
The monopod needs to be able to swivel the camera to various angles. This is done with a ball head unit, which is attached to the monopod, as shown.
You'll see that this is an essential feature of the monopod, for setting up the camera angles correctly, which is described next.
Now, let's look at how we can use the swivel screen camera and the monopod together to achieve some interesting camera angles.
Because the monopod is fast to adjust, it can be set to normal standing height by resting it on the ground. Shortening it allows it to stabilize the camera by resting on other objects like walls or tables.
The problem with cameras with fixed screens is that you have to hold them at head height in order to be able to preview the shot. However, with a swivel screen this isn't a limitation. Let's look at some interesting camera angles that can be achieved. Some examples are being shown.
The first is using it like a fishing rod or boom mic by extending its length at an angle above the crowds and over the subject. This is where the swivel screen is necessary, so that even though the camera is several feet above you, you can position the screen so that you can easily preview the shot.
These examples now being shown can't be created safely without the use of a monopod. The monopod is held horizontally and the ball head adjusted so that the camera is the normal way up.
This allows the camera to protrude out of the train window for shots like these.
A similar setup is used for the next example, but this time, protruding the camera over the edge of a high hotel balcony.
The ball head is adjusted so the camera is pointing directly downwards.
Ever wanted to video children or animals at their own heights? Some examples are being shown. To do this, you need to adjust the monopod to arm's length, and point the monopod down, so that the camera is upside down, near the ground. Tilt the monopod and adjust the swivel screen, to preview the shot. The camera image will be upside down, but can easily be inverted in your video editing software.
Another use of the monopod is to act as a simple Steadicam stabilizer. To do this, you'll need to adjust the length of the monopod, so that any side motion produces a smooth, gentle swinging action. To achieve balance, you will need to hold the top of the monopod just below the camera, with thumb and index fingers only.
A lot of the videos you take are of your family indoors. This means the resultant video is probably very orange, which is due to the type of lights in your home, and also very noisy due to low light levels. Both of these can be improved in your editing software. However, it's much better if you can reduce these effects by increasing the light intensity of the subject being filmed.
The simplest way is to use an LED light, like the one shown, which fits onto the hot shoe, on top of your camera. Most people don't like having the bright light shone in their face. This annoyance can be reduced by standing further away from the subject and zooming in more.
Another solution is to remove the LED light from the camera and place it nearby the subject pointing at the ceiling, and use the reflected light to illuminate the subject.
Remember to take a spare set of batteries for it with you in your camera bag. We'll discuss what else you'll need to take in your camera bag later.
Some shots that you want to take may be in the rain. So to protect your equipment, specifically your camera, waterproof protection is necessary. You can buy commercially available protection like the one shown, but they must have enough space inside them for the swivel screen to be adjusted. Some types let you get your hands inside the bag to manipulate the controls. However, your hands may already be wet, which isn't a good idea.
The simplest version is to use a large plastic bag as shown, with an elastic band around the lens. These bags are usually thin enough to allow you to control the camera from outside the bag, so your wet hands don't have to touch the camera.
Now let's look at how we can improve the audio of your videos while on the move. First, let's try and improve the performance of your camera's built-in microphones. Wind blowing over them causes your audio to be drowned out, because the microphones distort with loud noises.
You can purchase small wind jammers to block out most of the wind noise, as shown. They do this by being very airy. The long fur-like strands break up the wind, and this increases the amount of useful audio the microphones receive.
Professional videographers use radio microphones to achieve superior audio reception. These are placed close to the mouth, so other noises in the room will be low compared with the voice.
However, these can be expensive. An alternative method is to use much cheaper digital voice recorders instead. Choose one that can record in stereo. Observe the two microphones on the top, for left and right channels.
Also choose one that has connectors for both headphones and external microphone, like the one shown. Single lavalier or lapel microphones can be plugged in, but you can record in stereo, so why not?
They usually have large memory, so simply keeping it in the record mode will last for hours. For family situations, the unit can be placed on a table near to who you are filming. Alternatively, wiring up the groom with a lavalier mic on his lapel and placing the unit in his inner jacket pocket will capture both the groom and the bride's vows.
Modern video editing software have graphical audio tracks, so it's fairly easy to find the best bits in the audio and sync them to the video by hand.
Windjammers, which reduce the effects of wind on your audio, can also be fitted to these digital voice recorders as shown. They look very strange, but are extremely effective.
Being part of the family while filming is difficult. You need to be able to move with them and not drag behind carrying cumbersome equipment. So we need a single long shoulder bag, like the one shown, to carry everything in. So what goes in the bag?
The camera mounted on the monopod goes straight into the bag without separating them. You could miss vital shots, like the baby's first steps, if you have to assemble them each time.
Use a case like the one shown to store spare SD cards and spare fully charged camera batteries.
Keep a camera light in your bag for those low light occasions, but again don't forget its spare batteries.
Take a plastic bag or special waterproof bag discussed earlier to protect the camera when filming in the wet.
Take your digital voice recorder and even more spare batteries.
And for those occasions when you may need to mic someone up, take a lavalier or lapel mic with you.
For holidays, take your main camera battery charger to maintain a set of fully charged batteries.
And finally, have a shoulder strap permanently attached to your camera for hands-free access to cups of tea or lunch. This saves you the bother of trying to find some dry surface to place your camera down on.
Okay. Your bag now contains everything you need to get those interesting shots while on the move with your family.
We'll leave you with a montage of more examples of the types of camera angles we've been discussing.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Paul.
Thanks for watching, and goodbye.
Goodbye.